Never boring in Michigan, especially this particular offseason with the transfer portal, the coaching changes happening up to the day of spring practice starting. We got Clayton Safey on the line, fortunately, to help us sort through all of it. You catch him and the rest of the staff there at thewolverine.com on Rivals. So spring practice starts on this Monday. Just that when you look at the team on both sides of the ball and what intrigues and interests you, what are going to be those points that you're going to be looking for as spring practice unfolds, where you're going to be interested to see how certain areas of the team develop? What are those positions or those players?
Yeah, well, the quarterback race is one, but we already talked about that. And then two more things come to mind with this. The offensive line. So 2 years ago, they had 4 players drafted and were really young last year. They had some injuries. You saw Jalen Mayfield get hurt at the right tackle spot. Now he's entered the draft after his third season. So they're young, and I do like a lot of the guys that got some snaps last year. Obviously, it was a shortened season, and then you saw, some shuffling in and out with injuries, so they didn't get to play, necessarily every game. Guys like Zach Zinter, Reese Atterbury, I know they really like at the center spot. So there's a ton of promise with this offensive line, but they get a new position coach now in Sharon Moore, who's now also the co-offensive coordinator. Ed Warner was let go this offseason. So that'll be interesting. What Sharon Moore does with this offensive line group. He's never been an offensive line coach. He played it at a high level, blocking for Adrian Peterson at Oklahoma. He's been a good tight ends coach. He's been a good recruiter. But can he develop this group now and get a young group up to speed? That's the number one thing outside of the quarterback battle that I'm looking at. And then the second thing is the defense just as a whole, because Mike McDonald comes in. He also has no coordinator experience. He was the linebackers coach, as we mentioned earlier, for the Baltimore Ravens. And by all accounts, seems like a really good coach. He brings the energy. He's going to be able to motivate these guys listening to him talk. But, I'll just be interested to see what exactly this defense looks like. I'm not sure we're going to know much because they kind of go in that submarine during spring and fall practice. And you don't want to show anything, right, in terms of the schematics of what this defense is going to look like. It would be to your advantage to keep people guessing, your opponents, come the fall. But just looking at how they can kind of piece things together. You lose Kwity Paye, who could be a first-round draft pick at the defensive end spot. You get Aiden Hutchinson back, but he's off of a broken leg. He is one of the top, defensive linemen returning in college football, appears to be. What are they going to do with the other spots that looked weaker this past season, like linebacker and corner? I like the safeties with Dax Hill and Brad Hawkins returning, but it's just kind of the defense as a whole is something I'll be watching, what it's going to look like in terms of schematics, and then also who emerges as some of the guys that are replacing some of the more productive players that are leaving on that side of the ball.
And also who emerges from this 2021 class with 23 signees, 10 of them already on campus, including some of the frontliners like J.J. McCarthy, the 5-star quarterback, Donovan Edwards, 4-star running back, Giovanni El-Hadi at offensive tackle, and Junior Colson, one of your favorites there at outside linebacker. He's on campus and ready to go.
Yeah, this is a really, really good freshman class, and all the real gems, like you mentioned, are kind of already on campus, which I think is a plus for them. It's a plus for the whole, entire program. These guys came in saying they want to be the ones to, come in and make that immediate impact, at least push guys in practice to be able to turn things around from what was a 2-4 season the year before, and certainly not the standard at Michigan. And so are they going to be able to come in? Is one guy going to win a starting job? 2 guys, 3 guys? It could be. I certainly think we'll see some of them have some playing time come the fall. Donovan Edwards comes to mind. So does Xavier Worthy, who's not an early enrollee at the wide receiver spot, but just has so much speed. I think they're going to get him on the field. Junior Colson could be a guy that wins a job at linebacker, especially depending on what this defense looks like. I think it could be a good fit for him. And we'll see. Yeah, I think there's going to be some freshmen that make an impact just because of, some guys that didn't produce, some of the veteran guys that didn't produce last season.
Clayton Safey on Rivals, the Wolverine.com. You can check it out right on the banner right there. Track him to Twitter. And, of course, on over to Rivals for the best in Michigan football coverage. Clayton, we always appreciate the conversation. You stopping by, and especially in a situation like this, you got to pretty much set the record straight on all that's going on with all the dominoes and both sides of the ball with 6 coaching changes and got a lot of guys just moving back and forth.
Yeah, I hope everybody followed that. But but yeah,
I think
thanks
we
for
got
having
it.
me. Yeah, appreciate it as always.